Now, we have another interesting case, Il Giardino di Luca e Viola, which is introduced by the association. Now we have a no-profit association, not a business company. Monica.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon and welcome. Our students have been involved with a very strange project. They have been involved with cord blood donation. And at the beginning of the project, we gave them 2 goals, and both goals have been achieved with big success. And above all, our satisfaction is in the fact that they have been working with their hearts before than with their minds. Thank you to all of you.
The donation is painless, risk-free for the mom and the baby, free of charge, anonymous and voluntary. The cord blood is rich in instant cells, which are useful for the treatment of more than 80 diseases like leukemia. It's an effective alternative to the bone marrow transplant, as it requires less compatibility between the subjects. Briefly, Il Giardino di Luca e Viola, the association that we work with during this period, was founded in 2011, supports initiatives in the field of pediatric disease, and promotes the culture of donation. Our team was challenged with 3 main objectives: to create a software to manage and optimize the transport between hospitals and cord blood banks in the Lombardy region, to diffuse the awareness of cord blood donation, and to increase the number of donations. To achieve these objectives, we work in 2 different fronts: transportation and communication.
For the transportation part, we have been required to create a software system that is going to provide a graph which is going to be an optimized and organized transportation for the donations from the cord blood bank to from the hospitals to the cord blood bank. We have mapped 2 cord blood banks which are located in Milano and Pavia, and 39 already donating hospitals. For this cause, we have considered using the services of 3 transport organizations, which are providing us more than 200 starting points. We are using more than 2,500 routes to connect all these points, so that we manage this effectively and efficiently, and they have been selected by distance and by duration of the trips. The initial requirements of the software that is going to be created is to provide an on-time arrival of the donation, so that the donation is still fresh and can be used for further on for transplant. And also to minimize the cost of the whole graft and of the transportation expenses that the cord blood bank has to pay to cover. Beyond this, we have involved a lot of other functionalities. The central algorithm, you can see on the left, gets the inputs of the donation and updates the map of the routes. It gets on the right, you can see the change of the data inside the centralized application with the number of the routes, so this can be changed. The hospitals that are going to be visited, the sequence of visits, the routes that are going to be taken, the transportation partners that are going to do the transportation. We have developed 2 types of modules. Ones are a server side, which actually calculates the graph and the solution, and the other is a user side, which is going to be implemented as friendly user interfaces and according logins. And these are intended to be installed in the hospital so that the hospitals can input the donation, access this solution, and receive the details about the transport that is going to take. In addition, we have provided another type of module, which is very similar to the ones of the hospitals. It's almost the same functionalities, but in addition, it can overview the whole network and make modifications in the solution and also in the general data that is included inside.
Well, for the communication part instead, we started with a deep analysis of the donation process, the subjects involved and the external environment. And starting from this, we developed several initiatives addressed to different subjects. These are the initiatives we proposed, and as you can see, they exploit different communication channels, going from one-on-one meetings with doctors to promotional materials, but also social media tools. And they've been thought in order to cover a period which goes from teenage, in order to provide to people the awareness of the fact that they have the possibility to donate the cord blood, going through pregnancy until the birth of the baby. They have been also studied in order to balance short and long-term effects, in order to provide continuity to the message. These are some of the materials we developed for our initiatives, like, for instance, content to sensitize midwives to the importance of the topic, presentation modules for meetings, and this is the posters we developed that will be put in hospitals in order to make mom curious about the donation and start asking for more information. This is the Facebook page that we created in order to provide material to the people who want to know more about the donation, but also as a space where people can share their personal experiences about the donation. Finally, this is the promotional video we realized, which has been subtitled in 16 different languages, thanks to the help of the international students of Como campus.
Let's see now the expected results from the usage of the application. First, the transport will become integrated, exploiting synergies of the position in the hospitals in the territory. Also, it will enable a more use of the regional fund for transportation, minimizing the costs in the overall system. Also, it will enable the transportation during the weekends. This is an important point. Today, not all the hospitals can accept donations during the weekends because they don't have how to transport it to the cord blood banks. Finally, the donations will arrive in the controlled and required time. Let's see now what's next for our project. First, in the communication side, for instance, we got an agreement with a hospital here in the region to start the implementation of some of our initiatives. If they reach the agreed ratio of donations per birth, it will be an important contribution for the numbers of the overall system. Also, it will be a good opportunity to test our initiatives, and the results, we can use them to sustain the increase of our initiatives in a wider area. In the application side, Dr. Rebula, the head of Milano Cord Blood Bank, will show it during his meetings and seminars. For instance, he told us that in April, in London, he will present it during a seminar. During this seminar, it will be also present the head of the 25 main cord blood banks association, who has already demonstrated interest in our application. Concluding, first, I would like to thank Giardino di Luca Viola for the opportunity. It was a lesson which went far beyond the university project. Also, it was a good opportunity to how we can collaborate with the medical field, with an association, and as Mr. Rector said in the beginning, how we can contribute to the society. And concluding, we hope that we make our contribution and help this noble cause. Thank you all.
Thank you. Now we have Marco, who was the tutor of Confindustria, and Ordine degli Architetti.
Okay, first of all, thank you for your presentation, and congratulations for your work and for the noble purpose that lies behind the work. I have just a couple of questions related to technologies. So the first is that I saw that you use Google Maps or Google Earth. And my question is, did you consider also the possibility to use open source technologies instead of Google, which is free, but is not open source? And the second is, can you explain me better how you the software can optimize the path in terms of time and not also space? Because you talked about time, right? Okay.
Can you use it?
Yes. For the first question, we have in the in the beginning, during the analysis of the whole problem that we had to tackle, we have considered several map representations, websites, web tools, APIs. So we considered a lot of scenarios, and we decided, as Google is really user-friendly and everyone's already adjusted to using it, we decided to dedicate to using Google data as for collecting of the data. We consider that the data is pretty reliable and updated from Google. From seeing it from the APIs that they provided us, these are limited if we're not a business, but we have managed to collect the data within these limits and to cover our needs. And for the representation, it was really suitable important for us to have correct data and best representation.
So in short, it was, in our concept, it was a better user experience. It provided more reliable data and updated as we use on-time data for the traffic when we decide the transportation routes, like for your second question, but we are out of time, sorry.
For the calculations, the application itself does the calculations, so we don't use Google's ready solutions. But the fact is that we have collected the data and we are selecting the routes depending on duration and distance. These are the most important aspects. We have considered several, but these are the most important. So we are calculating the minimum amount of meters and kilometers that are passed, but also this has to be timed, time constrained and respect the times. We consider this.
Thank you.